Clock on the dot, rise and shine. It is beautiful outside. Good morning to you. I'm West 2 First Warning Meteorologist Eric Burris. This is Coffee Talk. We get together 7 days a week, chat about what's going on in the world of weather. We've done so for years. We're continuing to do so. What a beautiful shot. Looking over to the east from the Kennedy Space Center. The sign there in the bottom right corner letting you know the next mission, the PACE mission, will have the forecast. Hopefully third time's a charm. Have had some weather issues leading up to these things, so that's okay. It's all right. It is what it is. Let's look elsewhere and see what's doing on some weather stem cams. There's a look. Daytona Beach. Yeah, surf's still up, but man, that sun is shining. Marineland, the camera bouncing around just a little bit, but it's still a beautiful start. And last but not least, the weather stem camera in downtown Orlando. The sun, oh man, the sun is shining. It is just so pretty, isn't it? Rise and shine, and good morning, my friends. Thank you for joining us on Coffee Talk. First Warning Live Doppler radar. Rain-free, weather's kind of quiet at the moment. That storm system that was bringing those gusts, little by little, is clearing our area. Little by little by little. Look at some of these gusts, though, from yesterday. Kind of impressive, really. Marineland, 47 mile per hour wind gust. Melbourne, 44 mile per hour gust. Daytona Beach, 43. Kennedy Space Center, 44. Now, why did we put Daytona above Kennedy Space Center? You got to do it numerically. And then Orlando Executive Airport, 37. I was flying in the helicopter yesterday quite a bit, bouncing around. Had a good time with it. And yeah, but I'll add that there was some pretty considerable wind action. As a matter of fact, can I copy video address? I don't know if I can pop this up or not. See, this is one of those cases where, you know, it'd be nice if your buddy Eric was a little more prepared for Coffee Talk. I need to make him turn down the helicopter noise just a little bit. But yeah, that was video that I took from Chopper 2, and kind of a beautiful shot. Let me just size this so that it's not like blown out. But it's, you know, you could see from yesterday all of the wave action, but you see how it's not like massive waves. The reason we didn't have massive waves is because it was kind of a honestly, like more of a northwesterly wind. So it wasn't like that direct, and then I just thought that this was a cool shot, you know, showing that you could see the camera on the nose of the helicopter, and we're just kind of looking around. And anyway, so I took that video yesterday from Chopper 2. Just flying the beach. I did file a couple of reports. It was a beautiful day. Not a lot of flying because it was so gusty, but it was a beautiful day nonetheless. All right, so that was yesterday. The winds are calmer today. Here's a look at the temperatures. And the beaches, that oceanic influence absolutely is playing in. Look at the difference, right? For most of our beaches, we're in the 50s. The only reason the Daytona Beach is in the 40s is because the weather sensor is not beachside. The weather sensor is at the Daytona Beach International Airport, which is inland just a little bit. And of course, the inland temperatures are cooler, particularly places like Leesburg, Ocala are at 42 degrees. So it's nice and cool there. And through the day today, it's going to be beautiful and cool, right? 60 by 11 o'clock, 64 by 1 o'clock this afternoon, mid-60s our high temperature, and we are nowhere near our average highs. You know, average high temperature on the right in the 70s, forecast high temperature on the left in the 60s. Yeah, so there we are, my friends. There we are. Nice and chilly over the next couple of days. We're going to see some tweaks, though. So, but before we get to the next few days, let's just check, right? Like windbreak. I did the long sleeves this morning. I would suggest the same. Sweater's not a bad idea later today because those temperatures are going to be hanging out in the 60s, right? So below average. 66 in Orlando today, 64 degrees in DeLand, 62 in Daytona Beach, and 60 degrees flat in Palm Coast. So that's where we're at. Debbie says, it's a beautiful day for our youngest granddaughter's birthday. Love that. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Beautiful day indeed. Beautiful day. If there's any question, like, just look at one of our random cameras. Let me take you to Tampa, for example. Weather stem over in Tampa, looking at Raymond James. Like, it's beautiful out there. Beautiful. Where else you want to go? Marion County. Let's check in at the Emergency Operations Center there. It's gorgeous. Let's head down to Osceola County. Weather stem camera here at the Lakefront Park. Like, this is a beautiful day. Arnett will be cold biking this morning. 100% will be cold. Can confirm. Chilly, chilly, chilly. Yes, indeed. All right, now, the winds are calming down just a little bit. So here's the wind kind of over the next few days impacting the water. Water's calming down, seas are calming down, overall weather picture, and Terry's asking, is there any 80s in the near future? So let's discuss. Sunny and gorgeous weather for us next couple of days. But looking at late week, as that area of high pressure, that sneaky little area of high pressure, as that angles the way that it does, our temperatures are going to start to adjust. So, spring air, yes, is on the way. Temperatures by Sunday making it into the 80s. Yeah. Then we have our next storm system moving in. So, let's just get more into that spring thing, right? Like, it's not record-setting heat, but spring will be sprunging, whatever adjective you want to use, spring will be thinging, looking ahead to later this week. So just get ready for it, my friends. Gotta love that. 77 on Saturday, 82 on Sunday. Not records, but it's going to be nice. It's going to be nice. Matter of fact, Sunday, let's just take Sunday, for example. Let's look at our Sunday temperatures here. All right. You ready for this? You ready? Very nice. How much? Right? Like, that's gorgeous. That's gorgeous stuff. 70s and 80s. Gotta love that. Gotta love that. Spring is springing. Spring, sprang, sprung. That's right, Victoria. I always have one to repeat from grammar school. Exactly. Yep. Gotta love it. Gotta love it. So anyway, we've got some nice weather ahead. Everybody excited about it? Linda says, I'm so ready. I can concur. Now, it's not going to be a truly perfect thing because let's just dial in our 7-day forecast. All right. So we are going to drop on Tuesday. So for me, it's not quite time to heat the pool yet. We're getting there. But it's not quite time to heat the pool yet. Christy's asking, do you have an hour by hour and what it be like Sunday for the big game? So for now, no. But I can tell you you'll be in the lower to mid 70s pretty quickly in the morning. Midday, you'll probably be at about 77, 78. And then, afternoon high of 82 degrees. It's going to be a beautiful Sunday. So if you're doing your thing for the game, it's going to be a beautiful Sunday. Yeah. Jessica says, I'm so cold. Definitely ready for spring. Yep. Mickey so observantly says, 80s before a storm system. That may cause problems. I think, very observant you are, this storm system is not going to be the kind of storm system that, I think is concerning for us. We'll just say that. The storm system is going to be bringing snow to parts of Arkansas, for goodness sake. But you're right. It there's a lot of moisture. So this is Monday morning, just so that everybody's, on the same page. So this is Monday morning's computer model data. And just watch. That's weird. That's random that the low just jumped like that. I didn't do that. Weird keyframe thing. Anyway, watch as that low stays way north of us and drapes that front through and then brings in a little bit of rainfall. It's going to be a weak front. So for now, we're just not looking at this being a massive thing. Yeah. What were your comments about Cat 6? Oh, I guess I probably should share that, huh? All right, here, let me get that turned around. That's a good point. So we'll chat about that here in a second. But so for this storm system coming through on Monday, I'm happy to say it just does not look like it's going to be a situation where we need to be concerned, at least for now, where we need to be concerned about the threat for severe weather. Okay? All right. So that said, let me get this turned on. Give me 2 seconds. And for those of you that were asking, I did a story yesterday about Cat 6 because I didn't understand why my feed filled up about this, but all of a sudden everybody's asking me, did you hear about the Cat 6? And I'm like, no, definitely didn't hear about the Cat 6. So here's the story about that. Take a listen, and then we can discuss, all right?
The current way we measure hurricanes is, quote, inadequate and needs to change.
First Wind meteorologist Eric Burrs is here to break down those claims. And Eric, are we going to need to learn about a new category for storms?
I wouldn't say just yet. And as a matter of fact, the reality here is that for years, the way that we measure hurricanes has been questioned, and questioning is healthy for science. This is the Saffir-Simpson scale. It runs from Category 1 to Category 5. We all know that. But notice that Category 5 is open-ended with anything showing winds over 157 miles per hour. There's a study out this week that essentially says that fails to tell the full story of higher wind speeds, and that it is, quote, increasingly problematic in a warming world, end quote. Their proposal calls for anything with winds over 192 miles an hour to be a Cat 6. In history, by the way, only 5 systems would ever qualify for this, none of which in the Atlantic basin. Now, those climate scientists' idea is that by showing a higher category, if storms get there, folks would be adequately warned for higher wind speeds. But here's the thing. The description of Category 4 and 5 storms already discuss catastrophic damage. So officials down at the National Hurricane Center steer clear of this being a needed change, stating that we need to focus more on individual threats. And I could tell you, as a meteorologist, having covered hurricanes for decades here in Florida, understanding those individual impacts, to me, is the biggest point to try to explain when storms threaten. Catastrophic winds at Cat 4, Cat 5, or a potential Cat 6 would still be catastrophic. But how will it impact your family? And it's that important point in mitigating risk and making decisions for your family. So, Cam, at this point, the Hurricane Center is very clear on their verbiage. We need to focus on impact, not on scales and numbers.
Yeah. So there you go. That's the deal. I think looking so the station brought this up to me, and my first thought was, because you guys had talked about it, but I hadn't seen that report, and the reality is it wasn't. Taylor says Eric's on-air snarky voice. That was definitely my little snarky voice. We don't need a Cat 6. So glad the Hurricane Center's idea is absolutely in line with that. What you've got are climate scientists trying to show that the Earth is warming. And by changing scientific bullet points to fit that, to me, I don't like the idea of changing science to fit your cause. Now, people are doing their thing, right? They're doing their job, which is trying to push their perspectives. But science is science. It's good to question it. I have no problem with that. But we need to look at where the questioning turns us, and just so that everybody's on the same page. If you've been watching WESH this week, it's Severe Weather Awareness Week. Blah 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 blah. Tomorrow's day is, and this is, I'm going to just give you a preview of it. Tomorrow's day is hurricanes, and guess who's doing hurricanes? Moi. This is the Saffir-Simpson scale, and just as I had mentioned in that report, like, catastrophic damage occurs in Cat 4 or 5. We don't need to be spending time giving you a third version of catastrophic damage. So I'm 2,000% against adding a Cat 6. We don't need TikTok girl getting any extra credence. And at the end of the day, it doesn't help anybody but this idea that, oh, there's a new level. Oh, no, there's this new level. No. So anyway, thank you for coming to my TED Talk and, listening to that report. Vanessa says, great report. Wasn't there a girl claiming a Cat 6 was on the way and people said it wasn't true? Correct, and it's not true. There's your Saffir-Simpson scale. There's no Cat 6. There are climate scientists that want it, but yeah, no. Sydney says, I need to be adequately warmed this morning. That's hilarious. Yeah, we don't need a Cat 6. Taylor Eric's on-air snarky voice. It doesn't come out very often on the air. This was definitely one of those moments, though, where, yeah, we're gonna do that. Exactly. Now, Tad points, Beau of the fifth column, I don't know who that is, had a great point. If there's a Cat 6, people jaded on hurricanes will start to downplay Cat 5s. Exactly. And Cat 5, catastrophic and devastating. Like, and another thing, and I mentioned this, or will mention this in my piece tomorrow, I haven't taped it yet, but like, the potential for damage is exponentially greater from a Cat 1 to a Cat 2 to a Cat 3 to a Cat 4 to a Cat 5. Does it even matter if it's 1,000% greater than that of a Cat 1? Like, at that point, isn't it just you're hosed? Like, do we, you know what I'm saying? Like, we don't need to focus. So anyway, there we are. Susan says it creates fear. Correct. Which is absolutely why I'm 1,000% against it. Yeah. Taylor says if there's a Cat 5, you're screwed anyway. Don't need to be extra screwed, or at least listen. Yeah, exactly right. Exactly right. So anyway, that was the story, and I'm sticking to it. Glad to see basically every meteorologist colleague I see on the Facebook and the Twitter and the X and the Insta and the Talk and the whatever the heck else seemingly is on the same page. Right, Lori, once you get catastrophic, it's pretty much self-explanatory. Yes, exactly. Oh, man. Good gravy. Allison says, Ian was a Cat 4 at landfall. Enough said. Katrina was a Cat 3 at landfall. Enough said. And there have been discussions about how the Saffir-Simpson scale is not effective in messaging in general because it is strictly based on wind speeds, but that's one part of potential deadly influence on hurricanes. You know, Manalfi, of course, I got to go dig for this dang thing. Manalfi did marine hazards this year for severe weather awareness. Oh my God, where am I going to find this graphic? My eyes are getting older and I have no idea where this graphic lives. Let me see here. Nope. Nah. Okay. Weather hazard deaths. Now, tropical cyclone directly, but the point I'm trying to make is that marine hazards in general are the deadliest for us. So when you look within tropical cyclones, winds are only one part of injury and death. So there have been discussions like the enhanced Fujita scale. They don't look at but damage after the fact. And so there's some discussion of this anyway, yada, yada, yada. There will always be discussion about evolving. And I think that that's unbelievably important to do. Always have a discussion, but look at the root for that discussion. Are we trying to fit a narrative, or are we instead trying to push science forward for the benefit of the people? And I think that that's important. If we did, then we should add an EF6 tornado. Mickey on YouTube, you're right. Yeah, we're not adding an EF6 tornado. Yeah. Kathleen says, love your insight, mini snark and all. Well, and I'm only one person. Don't take what I say to the bank. Form your own opinions. That's my goal. My mentality in what I do is to try and give you information, give you any side of the perspective, and then let you make your own decision. I want to take my seat in the coffee talk breakfast table and or on Wesh too, and I want to really respect it, and I want to really do good by you. So ask a question. I'll tell you my opinion. I'll tell you why, the other side, whatever it is in this case. But I want to be a good steward of information to you. So I hope that you feel that way. If not, I always need to do better. Mickey on YouTube says, now what I do like is the experimental cone changes they're doing this year, way more informative. Yeah, and that's one of those things I'm going to have to mention tomorrow as well, is basically talking about watches and warnings inland instead of just at the coast. Yeah. Eliza, I would think you would not want anything else to affect insurance coverage. Maybe I'm incorrect. Well, there's that whole thing too. Yeah. The kid called what I miss. Coffee Talk the music. No Coffee Talk the musical. Remember the Facebook police, the copyright police will get you. So anyway, that's that. All right. Thank you, Deborah. I appreciate that. Anna, Lisa, thank you all. Thank you very much. So that's that. Now, that said, we do know that our recycling weather pattern here is coming back around. So let's check in on the old raw computer model data and just kind of see what it's sniffing out down the way a little bit. So there's that area of low pressure, that storm system pulling away from us. There's that Sunday, Monday storm system. Notice the area of low pressure well north of us. It's into the Carolinas. I very much prefer that. And then high pressure. And then, ooh, there you go. Little low popping up over Texas. Right where and when it's supposed to. Now, if you monitored yesterday at 10, we did our hurricane season forecast preview deal. You would be aware of this whole part of the pattern, yada, yada. If not, yesterday at 10, we had a really great discussion about kind of some things we're watching right now and how those things play into our cycling weather pattern and will play into our hurricane season forecast. So, yeah. Jeannie on Facebook. Off topic, I'm loving the coral colored jacket with the navy and blue. Approved for sure. Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Yeah, it's just cold outside, and I don't have a ton of cold things, so there's that. Carol says, thanks for the clarification. Carol, my pleasure. Terry says, just tell us the truth. These storms are scary enough without hype stuff. Well, that's darn right, Terry. That's what I try to do. We do a long-range hurricane forecast to kind of understand when and where, and so, yeah, that's absolutely my goal. It's 100% of my career goal here. Is so that when the weather gets a little nasty, you got somebody in your corner that you can trust, and that if you have a question, you can ask. I'll always fight for you, as long as I'm employed at the Deuce. And frankly, even if I ever leave the Deuce, I'll probably still keep Coffee Talk up, just without, their graphics and stuff. Let's see here. Mickey, I asked a question on the Tracking the Tropics yesterday. Sorry, I had to run, so we kind of kept it very tight. So yeah, I do apologize. I had to run, so my apologies on that. Does El Nino lend to more complex storm systems, multiple lows rather than the La Nina? You know, it can. It definitely fires up the atmosphere a little bit. And as it goes away come this summer, there's a whole other dynamic that's going to change there. So yeah, there's going to be questions for sure. Yup. Yeah. And Mickey, that's one of those things that Jeremy and I really have to dial in and look at. All right. So anyway, so there's the storm system. There's the next one that I'm going to be particularly interested in. Sunday, the 18th, clouds and showers and then clearing on out. Now, isn't that the Daytona 500 day? Daytona 500. Yeah, Sunday the 18th. Crapola. Okay, so may have some showers for the 500 this year. Wouldn't be the first time we had showers for the 500, right? But yeah, so that's the American GFS. Let's switch over and eyeball the old European. There's the 13th, 14th, 15th, 16th, 17th. So the European is trying to find area of low pressure down in the Caribbean, but it's not really initializing much. I'm just curious. This is my own ensemble. I'm just curious if we use this product a lot during hurricane season. Okay, so right off the bat, you can see the ensembles on the European are showing lows crossing us, right? They're absolutely picking it up. The operational Euro's not, but the ensembles are. So that tells me something right there. And then the control member. Yeah, the control member is... Well, there you go. There's the control member of the ensemble, showing an area of low pressure around South Florida. This is the part of the weather pattern that gave hurricane force wind gusts to South Florida. So I do think that around now the European, notice this is Monday night, whereas the GFS is like Saturday into Sunday. So there's definitely some differences in the model output on these scenarios. But plenty of time to watch it. So that's why computer models are guidance, not gospel. We say it all the time. Yeah. Right? Vanessa on Facebook says, I love hurricanes. They clear the air and wash away dust, saturate our dry ground, and keep water tables up. Listen, we need every bit of weather is needed. You don't like it, but it is what it is. Brian says, that looks like the 500 may end up being a Monday race. We race in the rain, but those folks sure don't. Yeah, well, we'll have to see, right? Mickey's over on YouTube's asking, what is a BSR show? I'll pull that up for you. Michael on X. Question for Track of the Tropics. What will be different for this year's Tropics last year? Listen, there's plenty of time to watch. That is way too broad of a question. All right, so what is today? That would be the 17th. Let me just give me 2 seconds to find the dates here. What is that? That's the 18th, 19th, right? So, should be like end of January, early February on the BSR. All right, end of January, early February on the BSR. There's your low right there. So that's the 17th, 18th time frame. Yeah, that's the 17th, 18th time frame, showing the low kind of in the Big Bend with a trough over South Florida. So that actually matches, but there's your area of low pressure through like the Florida Panhandle, Big Bend. And then there's like you see how like there's a kink over South Florida that fires up a low off the East Coast? I mean, that's what happened when it did its thing in November. So that absolutely lines up almost perfectly. Decent cold front there. After that cold front, what is that? That's like the 20th, February 20th, February 21st. Decent little storm system there just after. And then what are you? Like the 24th, 23rd, 24th. Oh, great. We'll have a storm system coming in on the anniversary of the 98 tornadoes, it looks like. Pretty potent little low there, right? See that low there? Big storm system. I'll have to look and see. That's the 23rd. 23rd, 24th. Interesting. And then, what are you? Right? Like that. That's like the 25th. So it'd get around here, around like the 29th, 28th, 29th. So yeah, we talked about this ad nauseum, how February was absolutely going to get our weather pattern busy again. And I'd like to say it sure looks that way, doesn't it? It sure looks that way. So we enjoy this quieter stretch for now, but starting up around the 500, awesome. But starting up around the 500, it's going to get busy, right? Jeannie says, thanks for the updates, Eric. I've learned so much. Have a beautiful day. You as well. Vanessa, thank you. All right. Any questions, comments, concerns, anything? Chrissy, our honeymoon cruise is out of Canaveral on the 20th. Chrissy, I better get a hug if you're coming down here, love. You say the 25th? Okay. We'll have some... I'm sure you'll get some sunshine, depending on where you go. Oh, man. Questions, comments, concerns? God, I want to give you good news, Chrissy, so badly. Mazel tov, by the way, for that and all the other things. All right, questions, comments, concerns, friends? Actually, it's funny, everybody was commenting on this little pullover. I bought this pullover when I ran up to Chrissy's wedding. So thank you, Chrissy, for that. I have a cruise out of the port on the 23rd. Tabitha says, hey, I wonder if you're going to be on Chrissy's. Oh, hers is out on the 25th. Okay, there you go. All right. Questions, comments, concerns, anything? Going once, going twice. All right. Enjoy the sunshine we got, people, because it's going to be a bit more active. All right. Be good. Take care. See y'all later. Be the sunshine in someone else's day. I'll see you tomorrow for Coffee Talk at 8 a.m. Take care.